Hello everybody, this is Wolfgang von Lampman from chaliceofimmortality.com. Today in this video I want to talk about garlic. Is garlic toxic? And onions. Are onions going to kill you? Or is it going to shorten your lifespan? Is it bad for the immune system? Do they shorten telomeres? So I know for most of you who have subscribed to my channel, you probably have already experienced the healing properties of garlic, okay? Garlic and onion are both part of the same family tree, and they have very similar medicinal effects on the body, although garlic is number one. So there's a raw meat guy on YouTube, and by the way, I have nothing against this guy. His name is Farage, okay? And once again, I have nothing against this guy. Actually, I find his videos rather interesting, okay? I find his videos interesting. I definitely don't believe the vast majority of things he says, but I'm very interested in his videos, and I enjoy watching them and listening to the things that he says, because he has fascinating ideas. And once again, little disclaimer here, the vast majority of things he says, I definitely don't subscribe to, I definitely don't believe in. But I do watch his videos, okay? It's a mark of an open mind, right? Being able to watch someone's videos even when we don't believe everything they say. And by the way, I also watch most of Vegan Gains videos, and I watch a lot of every single dietary tribe's videos. I just love nutritional medicine, okay? I like learning about how the body can heal, because I really just want to learn how to heal myself. I want to learn what works. I don't care about like my tribe versus yours. Anyway, watch my diet dogma videos if you haven't already. My vegan versus raw meat versus reality video for more in depth on that. Anyway, this guy says that garlic it literally makes you cry. Ha ha ha, makes you cry. Horrible impersonation of him. Garlic makes you cry, he says. Garlic makes you cry, and onions make you cry. Who fucking cares? They both make you cry. Okay, they both do. They should. Strong garlic should produce tears if you eat enough of it. And therefore, because it makes you cry, it's toxic. It should be common sense. That's an allergic response, one of his followers told me. It's not an allergic response, okay? An allergy is something you can measure. It's when a food or a molecule of protein, usually specifically a protein, enters the body registers it as a threat, a foreign invader, a threat, and it releases antibodies to go and fight it off. Symptoms of that would be constricted airways, like you can't breathe, your throat swells up, swelling, your face swells, your skin swells, you get hives, you go into analytic shock, and you have to be rushed to the emergency room. An allergic response is a serious thing. That's an allergic response, okay? The tears produced from garlic and onion is not an allergy, like his follower had said. I don't think he said this, but it's not an allergy. The tears from garlic and onions, if I remember correctly, it's been a long time since I actually read this data, but essentially what happens is there's sulfur-like compounds in these in the garlic or in the onions, and when you chop it up, it actually releases the sulfur-like compounds, and this produces tears. It produces your digestive juices, causes your digestive juices to get going, increases circulation throughout your body, and also releases endorphins, which is partly related to the crying or to the tearing. So the increased circulation obviously benefits your brain, it benefits your cardiovascular system, which is one of the reasons why many people use and have used garlic as a cardiovascular tonic for thousands of years. And the sulfur-like compounds help produce these tears, and it also causes burning sensation. Okay? And when you consume garlic and onions, and by the way, in traditional Chinese medicine is seen as warming, okay, just like ginger and cayenne, etc. When you consume these things, they can make you sweat, they increase circulation throughout your body, they produce, you know, increased circulation, and basically they can also induce a fever, like stimulate a fever. And that's actually a great thing if you know anything about overcoming an illness without taking pharmaceutical drugs, poison, you know, pharmaceutical drugs and whatnot. The thing is, these people think like, oh, it stimulates your immune system, and that's not good because it's going to weaken your immune system. The more you stimulate your immune system, the weaker it gets. You know, so it's not good to stimulate your immune system with garlic. Okay, so first of all, and then they're like, oh, you know, and then they don't get sick anymore, and they wonder why. It's because their immune system is so weak from the garlic that it doesn't work anymore. So your immune system doesn't work anymore, blah, blah, blah. Okay. So listen. All right, listen, and listen very closely. So we know what happens when the immune response goes down. You start to show symptoms of AIDS. So if garlic actually reduced the immune system like these people are saying, and shorten your lifespan like that, and he says it kills brain cells, get the fuck out. He said if it really did lower your immune system like you say, you would start to see the symptoms of acquired immune deficiency syndrome, AIDS, okay? Which, by the way, the symptoms of AIDS happen the more people start to take these anti-immune drugs that people use for allergies, okay? It lowers your immune response, and actually you start to get sicker, okay, more frequently. You show signs of chronic infections, chronic inflammation, muscle wasting can happen later on down the road. You see people develop cancer and all sorts of crazy problems when their immune system is actually lowered. And we know that their immune system is lowered, and we know that these are the symptoms of lowered immune system because these drugs are autoimmune drugs. Or sorry, not autoimmune, anti-immune drugs. Their mechanism of action is to suppress the immune system. They are immunosuppressant drugs. And doctors prescribe those now for allergies. They prescribe them for like chronic hives as well, and autoimmune conditions, even though that's the worst route you can go down to heal these things, okay? Because a lowered immune response is often the cause of these things in the first place, right? The same theory applies to acid reflux and GERD. People think, oh, I need antacid medications because I have too much acid. But what they really need is some apple cider vinegar so that the body can regulate its the sphincter and the esophagus and etc. And then the symptoms go away over time. People never think this way because it's counterintuitive, right? The same thing goes for the immune system. Anyway, this is a little complex, I guess, maybe a little off subject. But what I'm getting at is not having sickness all of a sudden. Oh, wow, like that means your immune system doesn't work. No, fucker, that means your immune system is on point. Okay? Because what do you see when you look at all these people dying of chronic illness and whatnot, okay? I see everyone around me, especially people who get vaccinated, okay? But that's my own thing, my own observation. People around me who are eating unhealthy and they're, you know, all this stuff, they're sick all the damn time. Oh, so according to your logic, oh, that means that their immune system is functioning real well, huh? Because if they're never sick, that's because their immune system doesn't work. So if they're always sick, then their immune system's working great, right? Fuck no. It's crazy that people can't see, that his followers can't see this. What the fuck? And then the ignorance of humans, ignorant humans. Ignorance, no, faggot, no. Fuck. And no offense to gay people. When I use the word faggot, it has nothing to do with homosexuality, okay? Jesus Christ. You know, this is why you should let go of arrogance, because it makes you ignorant, okay? Don't be so sure of something just because, like, you assume it, like, oh, it's common sense. No, it's not, right? A little bit of observation can save you there. So, there's that, okay? And then, you know, oh, like, you know, garlic stimulates the immune system, so that means that it weakens your immune system. It puts a lot of stress on the body, and it lowers your lifespan. First of all, there's no evidence for that whatsoever. And second of all, let's just say that stimulating the immune system with garlic does, like, stress the body. Okay, Okay? Well, let me tell you something. I've cured myself of flus. I've cured myself of course, colds. I've cured myself of strep throat and staph infection within 3 days of taking garlic. Okay? And I know, and this is the thing, and my girlfriend, I give her garlic anytime she comes down with infection. And by the way, I only get sick like maybe once a year. Wow, that must mean I'm so unhealthy, right? And I'm not vegan, but I'm also not a carnivore. Keep that in mind. So I give her the garlic, and she's always dealing with sick people because she works as a barista and a bartender and a waitress, and she makes a lot of money doing this, and she's always interacting with people at hotels and stuff. So she's always getting new people from other sides of the world and stuff staying with her, and she's getting all sorts of sick people. And she's hardly gets sick from these people, but especially when her coworkers are sick, she'll pick up a bug. I give her garlic within 1 to 3 days. Okay, she's done. She's fine, and the rest of her coworkers are always sick. Let me ask you a question. What do you think is going to stress your immune system and stress your body and weaken the body and weaken your lifespan? What's going to weaken it more? Being sick for 1 to 3 days, taking garlic and getting rid of the infection, or being chronically sick for 2 to 4 weeks like everybody else? Huh? Think about that for a second. Really think about that for a second. There's no way you can counter, like, how are you still going to justify this whole, like, garlic's toxic? Where is that coming from? The same place that these indigenous tribes who have not been civilized and don't know anything about science and inventions and stuff, these indigenous tribes, they use the same kind of assumptions that you do. They're like, looking at the sky, they see a plane fly by. What do you think is going to go on in their mind? You think they're going to think, oh, it's a plane. No, they don't know what the fuck a plane is. They're indigenous people. They don't even speak our language. They're probably like, holy crap, it's a UFO. It's an alien. It's an angel from the gods, right? And this is why you can't believe ancient scriptures from back in the day. You can't just believe, read them at face value. The angels coming down and the Egyptian scriptures, which, by the way, I love ancient knowledge and ancient texts. But, come on, man. They didn't know what the fuck these things were. They didn't know how to explain these things. Right? And it's the same kind of logic that this whole, that you're using. Like, this whole, like, oh, raw garlic, it kills brain cells because it makes you cry. It means it's bad for you. That's not logic. That's just like, that's what like an old woman with Alzheimer's tells her grandchildren. Like, oh, you don't eat that garlic, sonny. It'll kill your brain cells and makes you cry. It burns your tongue. What do you think? Common sense. You science people. Fuck off. All right? So, this is why you shouldn't get too caught up in dogma. You shouldn't, you start to believe your own thoughts constantly without questioning them. This, to be honest, is what causes schizophrenia to go out of hand. People have delusions. I'm not claiming anyone is schizophrenic, because, by the way, who knows what schizophrenia really is, right? I mean, tribalistic people believe that that's a spiritual awakening or something, and we think it's like chemical imbalance in the brain or something that needs drugs. Who knows? It could just be a food intolerance or an allergy, right? Maybe they need a raw meat diet. Maybe they need a vegan diet. Who knows? But, it could be an allergic response to schizophrenia. But schizophrenia becomes very destructive to yourself and people around you when you start believing the delusions in your head. And I see a lot of people, normal everyday people that you wouldn't expect, you wouldn't think of as mentally ill, who have these assumptions about life and these assumptions about the way things are, and they don't question them, they just believe everything they think, And this can be seen as extreme narcissism, dietary dogma, and then this garlic thing is more so like delusion and, schizophrenia almost. It just doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense because when you consider all the things I mentioned in this video so far, and there's many others I would mention, but this video's gone on way too long already. if you still believe garlic is going to kill you and it's toxic to the brain and this and that, then there's something wrong with you. Okay, you should at least be questioning it, and you shouldn't be so certain after hearing these things, right? Logic versus weird like assumptions that you just believe because they came to your mind, right? Like divine thoughts from the spirit world. Like no, this is just some random thought that came in your head. You're like the Wiz Khalifa meme, like, oh, dude, garlic makes you cry. It rots brain cells. It's the cause of death and illness and shortens your lifespan. Wow, all these crazy people use it as medicine. And it's killing them because it makes, like, the fuck? Tears do not equal toxic. Okay? Someone punched me in the face, I wouldn't cry, but if I did cry, most people would cry. Doesn't mean that the punch was toxic, it just means, oh, someone punched me in the face. You know? You get used to it the more you punch in the face, and builds a stronger mind and a stronger body. Anyway, okay, so this is all nonsense. We do have scientific evidence, whether you believe in science or not, okay, showing that garlic is a very powerful medicine. It cures diseases, it kills illness, boosts circulation. It could be a good pre-workout if you need something like that. And a lot of the longest living populations have used it as medicine and use it in everyday cooking as well. And once again, I'm not vegan and I'm not paleo, okay? I'm not a raw meater or anything like that. I'm none of that, okay? I follow medicinal nutrition. I eat the things that, prevent illness, prevent sickness, that produce the results that I want in my life, okay? Because I think that's what everyone should be doing. Okay, I don't follow like, the China study said that veganism's the best, so I'm gonna follow that. No, I did that for a year and I suffered greatly. Then I tried the keto diet and suffered greatly. So, fuck all that bullshit. All right, let's think logically about these things. And to put the nail in the coffin, okay, for what it's worth, this is the most insignificant part of this. For thousands of years we've used garlic, okay, as medicine, okay? We've used it as medicine, okay? And beyond that, if you think garlic shortens lifespan, I mean, that's retarded considering, like, there's worse things out there that we know are bad for us, like processed sugar and ice cream and whatnot. And there's people who live past 100 who say, I love my ice cream. I eat ice cream every day. I drink whiskey every day, right? There's people who live past 100 that have smoked cigarettes every day, like conventional cigarettes, and drink whiskey every day, and they're still living past 100. You think that garlic is going to be worse than these things for some people? And by the way, for the people who just are completely beyond logic, they're, I don't know what the hell? No, I'm not saying that you can eat ice cream and live past 100. It's a possibility, but it would be stupid. If your plan is to live long, don't be eating processed sugar, ice cream, and whiskey and smoking cigarettes just because some people live past 100 while consuming these things, okay? It's a lack of logic again. What I'm trying to say and emphasize with that point is that there are greater factors than just like, he eats garlic, it's going to shorten his lifespan. There's a lot more to it. So, really, like, think about things before you say things. What the fuck, right? That's crazy, And for me, it's not so much like, what is this person saying? That's not the most important thing. It's, where are these thoughts coming from? How did this person construct this belief? Did it come from research, trial and error? Did it come from one freak experience? Where did it come from? Is there logic? Does it make sense? Can you connect the dots? Or is it just like, I read the Bible and now all of a sudden God, I know God's real. He talked to me one day, Okay, and why do you believe it? What is your intention behind that belief? That's the greatest thing. What are you expecting to accomplish by avoiding garlic? If you think it's bad for you and you can't take a little burning on the tongue and tears and whatnot, then that's your thing. But to automatically assume, oh, it's bad for you, you know? And this person also said, like, exercise is bad for you. Any type of exertion is bad for you. And it's going to shorten your lifespan and this and that. Like, oh, man. Fuck. You know, and I should make a whole nother video on that, because there's lots and lots of holes to poke in that, and just extreme things that anyone, even a 8-year-old human, should be able to understand. So, God, man. Leave your questions in the comments down below. Let me know what you think, no matter where you stand on the subject.